So we'll be sharing in WhatsApp.
15 seconds to go. I will be starting.
Go ahead, please. 1:30.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the webinar Course and Standards Review for Doors in Building. This is Ganesh Kumar, BIM Specialist for Dormakaba. In today's webinar, we are going to discuss the Revit plugin for specifications in BIM. In today's agenda, we are going to cover 3 topics: the specification submitted in BIM and the integration of specification data into the BIM environment, and the COVID-19 ready support through complete remoteness. At the end of the session, we will be answering your questions. In the live session, you can ask all your questions on the Q&A panel. We will be answering each question at the end of the session. The BIM overview. So we all know that BIM is a building information modeling, is evolving in the industry as a technology and process which supports the coordination and collaborative working environment for the effective design, construction, and the facility management. It's a collaborative working process in the 3D, and it connects all the disciplines like interior designers, architectural, structural, MEP, and all the sub-consultant, all the specialty consultant. It connects all the discipline and stakeholders under the single environment, which provides the coordinated and very smooth workflow of the design and construction. And it starts from the design stage till the facility management. So this is what we all know as what is the benefit of BIM, why we are using the building information concepts in the construction industry. Even though we are using the BIM process, there are some challenges in the building information process, especially on the information exchange. So we are going to focus especially on the information exchange part today on this webinar. So what are the challenges are there? The challenges are lack of collaboration tools and lack of BIM skills. And there are a lot of BIM platforms and different file formats available in the industry, which makes a issue or difficulty in the sharing of file between the different stakeholders and between different disciplines of the designers. And sometimes unnecessary 3D models. Sometimes we have the 3D model of unnecessary elements of small item, nuts and bolts, even small components which doesn't support any design and coordination is also there, which increases the file into a monster. The file size will be a very big one. So there is a reason it increases the file size. File size is also one of the reasons for which affects the coordination, information sharing between different software and different disciplines. So to overcome this, we need to have a effective BIM collaboration tools. So that's why in the earlier stages we had, when the BIM is introduced 10 years before, we had a lot of issues like the information exchange, the coordination and collaboration was an issue. That's why we started moving slowly into other categories of finding solutions for the effective collaboration of the BIM environment, like started using collaborative information exchange using the common data environment. In the image, you can see how the common data environment works. We are not going into detail on this, just for the representing. The common data environment is nothing but we are all the project discipline and stakeholders working on the single source of file. That is the main concept of common data environment. And we are using common file sharing formats. So as I said, there are different file formats available in the industry. We need to have some common file format which exchanges the information and data in more smoother way. So we are using ISU formats as well. So we need to have the effective information management. So the information should be exchanged and it should be in the form of controllable manner and it should be in the form of measurable. So we are using the COBie as an example format. We are using COBie formats as well. So we see the BIM is in the industry for many years. We have some issues of collaboration and information exchange. That's why we are using this common data environment and IFC formats and other tools to control the workflow in the more smoother way. Though we are using this, we are still in need of a Revit plugin or a BIM plugin. So why we need a plugin? What the plugin will do? The plugin will help us to information exchange in a more effective manner, and it extends the functionality. Like a particular software can do only a modeling or quantification or scheduling or a sequence simulation like that. So a plugin will help us to extend the functionality beyond the limit of that software. And also, we are doing during design stage, the designers, we are doing more works on the repetitive manner. So to avoid the repetitive work, we need some automation that will improve our productivity. And as I said, there are different softwares and file formats. The interoperability between the softwares and stakeholders will be much more smoother when we started using the Revit plugin. And Revit file sharing the Revit BIM model is really an issue in the industry because of the file size or because of the confidentiality and because of the last time finishing. So if the designer is going to submit the BIM model within 1 or 2 days, he cannot share the BIM model to other stakeholders and wait for them to reply back with the updated information, with the updated design. So the sharing Revit file is a really difficult task in the BIM process. To avoid the file sharing, so we need a plugin as well. So these are the requirements. That's why we need this kind of plugin to support the workflow in more better way for the information exchange. In this webinar on this information exchange, I'm going to focus more on the specification part. So we have different disciplines in the design process and the construction process. There are different stakeholders from the architectural, structural, MEP, interior designers, lighting consultant, facade consultant, doors and windows, hardware. So there are many disciplines, there are many stakeholders are there. So from everyone, we need the specification that also has to be incorporated in the BIM environment. Specification is also a part of design manual. Before it goes to tender, we are focusing more on the drawing in the BIM environment. We are producing the BIM drawings from the BIM environment, but still the specification is not incorporated in BIM in most of the cases in the current practices in the BIM. So we need to focus on the specification also that has to be incorporated in the BIM environment. And what can be achieved in the specification in terms of BIM? The product cut sheets, the catalog, and the specification data, everything has to be incorporated in the BIM environment. So these are the commonly available plugins which supports the BIM environment. Dynamo, we can use Autodesk BIM 360 for the file exchanges. Using Autodesk Forge, we can create customized own plugins which supports the export and import between different stakeholders about sharing the information. So that here, Dormakaba have arrived to this situation as the industry is moving towards BIM. Dormakaba have developed a Revit plugin to support the import and export, the file exchange, information exchange in more streamlined method using the Revit plugin. In overview, this application is free to use, the Revit plugin. This is applicable for all the Revit versions from 2016, 2017, 18 till 2020. For each version, it will be get updated. For all the version, we can use this application. And it is completely offline process. Means it is not cloud-based, so your model is protected. We don't have any access to your model. We cannot take any information unless you publish the information through email to the Dormakaba specifier. And this software doesn't require any resources, and it's lightweight, very lightweight to install. And the key features, as it is offline, the Revit model is secure, even if the project is confidential. So the file sharing, as we started discussing earlier, the file sharing is the major issue in the BIM collaborative working process. So in this case, the designers don't need to share the Revit model. It's just import and export of data between the designers and Dormakaba. So the transformation between designer and Dormakaba is quick. As a result, complete ironmongery specification we can see inside the Revit model. By clicking each door, we can see all the specification integrated into the model, and we can generate the reports. So here I am switching into Revit software to show the live demo of the Dormakaba Revit plugin. I hope everyone can see the Revit session.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you. Thank you. So in the Revit session, we have the ribbons for the architecture, structural, for all the disciplines we have. These are the default, the Revit software. And once we install the Revit plugin, it comes under the tab as additional plugin, additional ribbon under the name of Dormakaba. This is having the tools, very simple tools just to export and import of the ironmongery details. This plugin is offline. It doesn't require or it doesn't affect or modify any of the project content. It is offline. Once you generate the report, you need to the communication, export and import happens through email only. So here for the demo, I have taken an example sample project. So this is not a real project. I have taken a very simple sample office just to demonstrate the integration of door hardware. So here we have some rooms, entrance, meeting room, and offices. And here we got some doors. So when I select the door, I can see in the instance properties there is currently there is no parameter or information regarding the ironmongery. So once we done the integration, we will see the results here. So in general, for any specification process, whether it is BIM project or non-BIM project, for any specification process, what are the details the specifier will need? The floor plans of the project and the fire and life safety plan, the security plan, or if there is any acoustic details. So these are the details we need along with the door schedule of the project and the door details. So for the floor plans and security plans, fire and life safety plan, you can use the BIM project, you can use the Revit project, you can generate the floor plan by in the format of PDF or CAD. You can send to the Dormakaba specifier by an email. This plugin, Revit plugin, will help us to generate the door schedule and get back the imported hardware to import into the model. So I'm going into the tools. So we have the options, the settings, which will help us to have the export and import in the more smoother workflow. Like here we have the category. First, we are going to generate the door openings, door schedule. So before that, we are doing some settings. Here we have the option to select the category. Sometimes the doors may fall under other category as well. So the default category is the door. If the door falls under some other category, let's say the designer has put some curtain wall, so the curtain door comes under the curtain panel. If the door is under the curtain panel, you want to add that panel category as well into the door schedule. We can choose, and if it is a generic model or specialty equipment, you can add the category into the door schedule in addition to the normal default door category we can add. So currently curtain wall and doors are added. The next thing we can do, so what are the things we are going to generate in the door schedule? What are the information we need? What are the fields and columns we can show? So that's we can define here in the parameter mapping. In the parameter mapping, these are the information required for the specification, and this parameter is going to take the information from these parameters, like the information door number is going to take from the mark parameter of the door. The door type will be taken from the type mark. So we have the parameter mapping to facilitate if the information is not lying in the same parameter. As a default, the fire rating parameter will be on the default fire rating parameter. If the project has the different parameter names as per the project standards or as per as per the project standards or company standards, the project parameters may be in the different name. The information may be lying in the different parameters. For example, the fire rating. If the fire rating is lying under other than the default 5 parameters, we can choose that. Let's say the company ABC have the fire rating parameter ABC fire rating. So we can choose that. Like this, you can map the parameter information. So where these informations are lying in the project, we can provide the custom fields also, like the additional information we want to add in the door schedule, like the access control or acoustic rating. We can add some custom field also. We can add the parameter information here. So these are the settings we have done. Then we are going to generate the door schedule by using the option export openings. Now we have done the settings in the options. We are going to generate the export opening. Here, again, if you want to change the category, we can change the category of the door schedule, only the doors or curtain panels or all the items. So I'm just selecting the doors only. We have some advanced options to filter the door schedule. Sometimes the designer or the door specialist don't want to send the entire project detail for the specification. So we can filter out based on the paces, existing pace or new pace, or the pace 1, pace 2. Based on the paces, we can filter the door schedule. And if that is project having design options, we can filter based on the design options as well. And based on the views, only the podium level or basement level, or only few levels we want to send for the specification to generate the door schedule, we can select based on the views as well. And of course, if the project have the link files, we can choose the link files as well. Then we can go for generating the door schedule. So this is the preview with the settings we have done. This is having the door information from room to room, and the hardware set is empty now. After the specification, this will be filled up. So I'm just saving this file into the computer, the desktop. I'm just saving it. So this is the generated door schedule, which is in the form of text format. This file, the designer need to send to the Dormakaba. Once the Dormakaba specifiers receive the project details in the form of text format door schedule and the floor plans either in the PDF or CAD file, the specifier will start working on the specification. Once the specification is done, the Dormakaba specifier will send some data file to the project architect and the designers that the Revit, in the Revit project, the designers has to import that file. Then the integration of the specification will be automatically integrated into the Revit project. So by this time, we need to use the import hardware. We need to use the import. So for the sample project, I have kept ready the specification submitted from Dormakaba. I'm just importing that file. So this is having the information about the specified hardware set information, and we can review the hardware set. So there are 2 hardware sets specified for the example case, and it has all the product information with the product images, hinges, lock, door stop, door closer, door contact, panic device. So the designers need to review the changes. The designer has to review the changes, like if he is ready to accept all the specification. Here, he can select the door. This is a list of the doors for the project. He can review each specification provided by the Dormakaba. By selecting the door, he can read out the Einmongery details. If he is okay with that, he can go for accepting. Or if he don't agree, the designer is not agreeing with some of the specification, he can skip few doors. Or if he is okay with all the doors, he can simply accept all the Einmongery details. And once it is accepted, successfully imported the Einmongery details into the project. Now the integration is done into the project. Now we can go and see the results, how it's done. So we have, earlier we checked the door and we checked the parameters in the instant properties. It was empty. Now, after the integration, it has added 2 parameters, instant parameters, door hardware set, the hardware set number, and the Einmongery detail is added into the project. So this is one way of looking into the results of the specified hardware. There are other ways to see the results. Here we have the option to the display schedule. Once we can select the door and we can see all the specified information with the product images and all the product details, hardware details, supplier, manufacturer, and the finished detail and quantity. We can see all the details within the Revit environment. So as Revit, as a BIM concept is not, no need to refer other documents. Everything has to come under in the single file, single source of information. That is the concept of main BIM process. That's why we don't need to refer separate files to refer the hardware set number or ironmonger details. After the integration, everything we can see, we can select any door, we can see the information. And in the display schedule, we can see the results of each door with the specified ironmonger details once you open. So we can also generate the reports. This is the display schedule. We can generate the reports as well. We can generate reports, so like control is nothing but the door schedule and the door hardware sets and the bill of materials as well. And we have some options to have the customized door schedule. So the door schedule, if you don't want few parameters or columns, we can remove the unnecessary things. We can choose the right door schedule format and we can generate the door schedule. So the generated door schedule will be like this. We can save this into the PDF or Excel or in a Word format. The same way we can generate hardware sets. It's loading bit. So by the time I can explain a few things like while generating the reports, we have the options to hide the supplier name and the logo. If the project is generic, if the project is the government project, if the specification requirement is to be generic, we can remove the product code or supplier name or the Dormakaba logo. We have the options here, provided hide professional, hide logo, hide consultant. We can have the options of removing the specified supplier name if the project requirement is generic. Also, we can delete the Dormakaba logo and we can load the company custom logo. We can generate the bill of materials as well for the specific project. What is the BOQ? We can generate as well. So this will produce the product image, the quantity. So this is the general overview of the Dormakaba plugin. We can see some few more options, tools, what we have. So this is the first time when the designer send the door schedule to the Dormakaba specifier. Once the integration is done, if the project needs some revision or continuous changes, the architect can keep working on, like adding, for example, I'm just adding the door here. For example, if the doors have some additional areas, the new doors are added, we can use the option highlight opening. This will show what are the doors have the specification already, what are the doors is not specified yet. So we can easily identify in the visual way. So these are the doors have already specified. So these are the new doors that not having the specification. So by this way, we can identify in different color formats. And also the revision tracking is more easier way now. So once the designer is completed the revision, he don't need to track the revision. He don't need to cloud the revision before sending to Dormakaba. He can simply generate the next revision with the door schedule. They can send to the Dormakaba. Our software is able to track the changes, that what are the new doors, what are the deleted doors, or if there is any change in the door properties like acoustic rating or access control or fire rating. If there is any change in the door, it will be highlighted and the revisions will be taken care and the right specification will be provided in a right way. So I am switching back into the presentation. I hope everyone can see the presentation again.
Yes.
Thank you. So far, we have seen the integration of the specification into the BIM models. So using the information, what can we achieve more using the specification data in the more intelligent way? So this is the upcoming feature on the BIM app. So we can use the specification data in more intelligent way to have some code compliance checks in the more automated way. So we have developed some programs to check the BIM model, and along with the specification what Dharma have provided on the BIM project, we can do the code compliance checks against the codes and standards like NFPA 1A1 and NFPA 80. We can do some automatic code checks. So currently, these checks are available in the form of Dynamo scripts. Once this is done, in the future as an update, this will be added into the Dormakaba plugin tool as well. As a tool, it will be updated in the future. We are coming into the last part of the session. As we are all working remotely, we are all working from home. So the entire specification process we can support from the installation of the Revit plugin, and the complete support we can do remotely. So other than the BIM plugin, we are also ready to support in the BIM 360 as well. I'm just switching back into the browser to show a few contents. So we are available to support you on any time through BIM 360 as well to have some collaborated working environment. And I would like to share you some information from Autodesk 360. I just want to notify you. There is an option because of the COVID-19, the access for the BIM 360 for commercial use, who's having the license already, is extended till June 30. So we can use free for till June 30. And I would like to share one more thing. There is a website called BIM Object website for the project. So whatever we have seen in the Dormakaba plugin is that integrating of specific hardware into the doors, typical swing doors like that. If the project needs the plugin Dormakaba BIM models that is available in the BIM Object website, we can go to Google and we can type BIM Object, and once the BIM Object website, we can search for Dormakaba. This will list all the products in the form of Revit families. It's free to download. During the design stage, the designers can download and use all the BIM objects. And if the project requires the customized Revit families, yes, we are there to support you on the customized BIM solutions as well. Like we can develop customized models. So I'm switching back into the presentation. So this is our specification team. This is having all qualified persons for the specification process. So this is the team who supports you on the specification process. Once this is the project, they take care of your doors. They refer all the codes and standards in the very detailed manner, and they are ready to support you on any time for the specification process. And thank you. And we will have the questions and answer session.
Thank you, Ganesh. And if you have any questions regarding the BIM session, you can ask. You can just type down in the Q&A session, and we'll be answering. Ganesh will be answering to all the questions.
Thank you, Srijit. I'm just going to read out the questions. Cheeto RSP, can we use the door schedule you shown as part of our documentation? Yes, you can use the door schedule. So it will be generated in the form of text file. Once it is done, you can again using Dynamo scripts, you can bring back the door schedule into the Revit as a schedule. You can, and then you can put it in the documentation, or you can bring back the imported data into the project as well as a door schedule. You can put it in the documentation as well. But it will not all, the Dormakaba plugin currently it will not directly add into the schedule. The direct export or import doesn't add the schedule directly into your project. But using the import file and export file, we can do it in the other way. Next question from Anonymous. In which format the file will be exported? The file will be exported in the form of text file when we are expecting from the plugin. And the import file will also in the form of text file, but which is in the form of encrypted text file. And the next question, what if we require all individual hardware items as separate parameters? So currently all the specification is comes under one parameter. The hardware set number is under one parameter and all the hardware information is other parameter. If you need separate parameters, yes, we can support you. We can send you some Dynamo scripts. Using that, if you run the Dynamo script, then it will be splitted into separate parameters, which we can put it in the schedule or you can use for the quantification purpose. And the next question, how will you track if some of the doors are flipped in the later version? Yes, that is also taken care as a change because the door opening direction is also affecting the hardware. Even the door opening flipping direction is changed. Our specification software will consider this as a change. So we will take care of it. Because anyway, in the background of the door schedule, like in the door schedule, it is taking the door orientation as well in the flipping position as well as the input. So once it is done, it will be taken as a change for the next revision. The next question, from Suleiman, can we get the presentation for our reference? Yes, the presentation will be shared through a link for all the attendees. The recorded session also will be shared. Next question, is it possible to change the property of the door already specified? Is it possible to change the property of the door already specified? Yes, we can specify any door. Like what we need is the door dimensions. So the door schedule will give the dimensions, like the door information, whether it is fire rating or the door dimensions, and the floor plans will tell the door location, everything. So based on that, whether if the door is already specified, we can also specify the door again.
Hi Ganesh, if I'm not wrong, there is the question seems to be little different. If we specify a door and the architect want to change its properties, the door properties, will it affect the hardware or something? That is the question seems to be.
Yeah, if the door is specified, they can still change the door. That will not affect the hardware, but as a specifier point of view, if there is any change done to the door, that has to be notified. If it is affecting the door hardware, let's say the door dimension is changed or the door fire rating is changed, they has to be notified to Dormakaba or the specifier, then only we can update the specification. So it will allow the designers to change the property, but it has to be notified. Then only we can update with the right specification. It is possible to change the property after the specification is also done?
Yes, I'll just add to Ganesh. This is important because sometime after specification, if a property of door is changed, it may affect the fire rating or the selection of hardware. So it will require a review. For example, the hardware may be specified for a fire rated door, and it may be changed, property may be changed to non-fire rated, or the specified hardware has a limit of door width And if the door breadth property is changed, it may affect the hardware selection. Since the architect or a Revit professional is not a hardware specialist, he may not know this effect and coordination. That's why it's important that it is then again reviewed by the specialist hardware, so that he can take care of any coordination and correction required.
And there is one more question. Thank you, Altaf. There is one more question. If we export the file in text or any other format, so in case of larger file size, it will take too much time, or it will work in the same. It will work in the same way, because it is not going to export the entire model. So only the model will be the heavy sizer things, 3D models. It is just exporting the data of the doors, the room details and the door information. So whatever be the number of doors, it will not affect the file size. It will work in the same way, in the faster way. The next question, if our export include from links, while importing, do we need to open each link and import? Yes. As per the Revit basic working methodology, we cannot modify the Revit link. So we need to open each link. So we can filter out the doors from the main model and the link model. So for the link model, we need to import the file separately. That's correct. We cannot do a single click because the Revit doesn't accept the changes to the link model. So we need to import the doors for the link model separately by opening the in the other session of the Revit. We need to open the link file, then we need to do the import. So the other question, I mean, if it is second revision, the property is changed, will it record it as a change? Yes. Yes, we have answered this. Also has answered as well. What is the time required for specifying the entire building by Dormer team? So it depends on the project. Srijit can answer this.
Yeah, sure. Like if it's a typical project like apartment or hotel, it won't take much time. But as long as the complexity is more, with the more acoustic rating, access control rating, more safety concerns like hospital as well as education facilities, the time required for the specification will be little longer. Why? This is why, because we will be going to each and every door individually and checking the properties and the means of egress, all these other main concern areas. That's why it is taking little more time. But if it's a typical one like apartment or hotel, it will be a very easier one. It will be quick enough.
Yes, Vijit, can you please mention the number of days for typical one and specialist one? You did not mention it, so you are just relative. Can you just mention, for example, a typical apartment building, how long it will take, a typical hotel building, and then if it is a hospital, then just approximate the time.
Yes, sure. And if it's a apartment building, maximum 1 to 2 days, 2 working days, we can do it if all the informations are available. And similarly for hotel, there will be little more, it will take little more time. Why? Because there will be much more complex things will be, the facilities will be there, like extra 1 more day, it will be like three days. Within 3 days we can work out. And if it's education, it will take little more, like 5 to 6 working days, education facilities. And if it's a complex hospital like 500 bed hospitals and all, it will take approximately 10 working days. That's our normal turnaround time for the specification.
Thank you, Srijit. The next question, if the door has an external attributes like magnetic lock or system, will this be included automatically in the tabulation? Yes, we have, for the generation of the door schedule, we have provided some custom fields. So in the custom fields, if you have any additional information on the door, you can use the custom field, then you can map that parameter to the custom field, then it will be included in the tabulation, means the door schedule. The next question, apart from the considered door fire rating, what are the other factors that may affect and consider updates to be made on the specified hardware? Other than the fire rating, the other factors affecting the hardwares or acoustic rating, access control requirements, and Srijit, you can elaborate more on this if you can.
Yeah, sure. Like apart from the fire rating, the main considerability like accessibility should be considered firstly. Then the security parts like if the building is secured, then the security requirement to be followed. Then comes the acoustic properties. So these are the main ones which need to be considered while doing specifying a door.
In addition to this, if it was a steel door changed to wood door or aluminum or vice versa, it will affect the hardware selection. If the door thickness is changed, door height is changed, door width is changed, then the hardware need to be reviewed. And if there is even thickness, there is no change in the door size, but the frame jamb is increased, for example, and we have specified a hardware which is related to the frame jamb. Even then, normally people will think it will not affect the hardware selection, but it will affect. So almost any property changed in the door property, its usage, its application, it will change. It may be a door with all same parameters, but now it is used in a wet area. So we may now need to add kick plates, mop plates for protection of the door, or maybe some signage. So it's always good to have a review on the selection of hardware when there is any change from it.
Thank you, Altaf. The next question, if ironmonger is bespoke with several different manufacturer components acquired separately, how will this be treated as a one component? Example, gust room entry system with bespoke lever, how it will be represented? When it comes to BIM, it doesn't matter. So we can receive the specification like on what requirement, like if it is only specific area, back of us or front of us, or only particular door we want to specify, or our scope is only for special items or special hardware, so we can specify only that item. On the BIM part, it will only integrate those items into the door. In general, regarding the specification, Srijit, if you can add more, please.
Yes, as he mentioned, like if there's any special lever handle design that need to be selected for a special hotel or something like that, if there's any special requirement from the client side, we can do along with our specification, and we can integrate together and send back to you as a one single package. That can be done.
Okay, Srijit, thank you. There are some questions more. From the ironmonger industry, what is the equivalence of fire exit doors and emergency exit doors to be fire and life safety industry? Srijit, did you answer this already?
No, I think.
In the publish, there is one question from the ironmonger industry. Can you please answer it? The last one.
Okay, the question is like from the ironmonger industry, what's the equivalence of fire exit doors and emergency exit doors to fire and life safety industry? The fire exit door is nothing but it will be a door which is having a fire resisting property, and as well as it is acting as an exit door. So it will be a fire rated door as well as meeting the egress route, life safety capacity. So it will be either with a fire rated door with a panic device if the occupancy is more than certain limit. And similarly, the next one, emergency exit doors. The emergency exit door, which need not to be a fire rated door, but it will serve as an exit route door. So this door will be in the exit route, and it can be with the exit device. I hope I answered your question. Altaf, if you want to add anything, please.
Yeah, in this case, I will just summarize a difference between fire exit doors and emergency exit doors. So we know that on the project, the doors are used. There are two important tasks of the door when it comes to life safety. One task of the door is not to allow the spread of fire from one part of the building to other part of the building, or one room to the corridor, or vice versa. So then we call this a fire rated door. And when this door is in the means of egress, where tenants of the building will use this door to escape from the building, and this door should not be locked from the inside, then we call it escape door. Uh, and then on the building, there are situations that the same escape door, which is within the building, may require fire rating as well. So it has dual responsibilities. One responsibility of this door is not to allow the spread of fire, and the second responsibility is to allow egress. So we can say that we have these three types of doors. It's a very good question. There are some misunderstanding in the market. There are some hardware products which are listed, UL listed, for example, only for fire exit and not fire rating. And we have seen that people are using same hardware on the fire rated door as well. So this should be noted, and this is a wrong practice because the hardware is not tested for fire rating. It is just tested for panic egress. So while selecting the hardware, it's important that we know the application of the door, that it is for fire rating only. Is it for panic exit only, or is it for both fire rating as well as panic? And once we understand this, then accordingly the right hardware can be specified. If the question is different than this, then you can please send us by email to us, and then we can answer it with providing references to the codes and standards. All the questions that has been asked in this chat, all these questions once again, now we are answering them directly without any preparation. So what we are doing later on, we will be writing all these questions and we will be reviewing them again. We will be taking references from the codes and standards and adding it here, and we will be sharing PDF to all the attendees just as a reference document. Srijit?
Thank you, Altaf. Srijit, there are two more questions regarding fire and life safety.
Okay, thank you, Ganesh. So the next question is, do you include necessary items in hardware set even though particular product is not Dorma's product range? Yes, of course. Why? Because we are providing as a complete solution. If there is a product which is need to be there in the hardware set in order to satisfy the functionality of the door, still we used to put that as a separate item. Maybe we will not be putting the exact manufacturer name, but we will be mentioning as a generic item, so that will complete the solution. So of course we are doing that.
Yeah, just to add to Srijit's answer, when we specify hardware on the door, is it not necessary that all the items are from Dorma Kaaba? So if architect has already done a selection due to some reason, he can advise and we can include. It's important that this integration is done by somebody who knows door hardware, because sometimes not all parts can work together. So it's very important that this combination is done by door hardware specialist. For us, we follow architect instructions and selections in this regard. Whatever is their selection, even though it is other manufacturer, we can add.
Okay, and the next question is, I think it's continuation of the previous question regarding the fire exit door and emergency fire exit door. The question is, in fire life safety, we have fire rated doors and non-fire rated doors. So the terminology between ironmongery and FLS is slightly different. Altaf, can you please help me on this?
Yeah, yes, the terminology is different if it is about fire safety or if it is about life safety. It is different, and what I explained in my earlier answer, where I differentiated between these doors and application, I think it is answered. And since we cannot see the names here in the Q&A event, we can just be anonymous. So if we could be able to see the names, then we could see that this question is from the same person or other person, and then maybe we can rightly answer. But now I think this is already answered. If it is not answered, please let us know.
Thank you, Altaf. I hope there are no questions.
I do not see any new questions, and all the questions which are published, they are answered. And as I said earlier, all these questions will be rewritten again and answered in detail with references from codes and standard. In case we missed out something answering now, we will try to include it, and then we will be sharing the PDF file of these questions, as well as a link to the recording of this session on YouTube will be shared to all the attendees. And also those who were not able to attend, they may attend, and those who have attended or may have joined in the middle, you can see the full recording later, as well as if you like, you can share it with your colleagues. Ganesh, back to you.
Thank you, Altaf. Thank you everyone for attending the session. We are looking for your attendance in the next session. The next session will be on the code compliance on BIM regarding the BIM session. So that will be also an interesting part. We'll be covering more detail on the code compliance check with the NFPA standards. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you all. Thank you for your attendance. Bye-bye.
Thank you.